I am Mistry, your host for the evening. Before we all get started, yes, you all can all settle down first, and let's hear a big hand for Instituto Maricón. I'd now like to call on Diana Moret, the Director of Education at Instituto Maricón, to come and say
being here with us tonight for this amazing roundtable that has organized for us, and we are really happy to be in Mumbai as Instituto Maricón. We opened 2 years ago, and of course we opened with our main courses, which are fashion design, fashion styling, fashion business, but it came to us as a surprise to me, being always in Italy, that actually in India there is such an amazing industry of interior design going on. I was really very surprised by that, and see also the quality of designers and publications also for interior design and architecture and so on. So actually it was a no-brainer for Instituto Maricón to also start our interior design courses, which we're running in Europe, but also here in India. So it started this year, and it's an interior design course that goes for 2 years, and the third year can be done then in Milan. It can be finished there, because I think for everyone it is clear that Italy is of course very important, and for everything that has to do with architecture and interior design. So that's something we have in common. So thank you very much everyone for being here, and I hope you will enjoy the evening, and yeah, enjoy. Thank you very much.
thank you, Jen. Fraternity, but we know there are many these days. This is probably the first time that we have a set of people who are actually only used to being seated on the questioning end of the table normally. These people on the panel today are well aware of everything that is going on in the industry. They know the industry to the point that they would even know which architect, interior designer, product designer is close friends with which brand, which publication. While the industry may ignore calls from the sales teams, they dare not leave the phone unanswered when a call is made from this specific department of any media house. They try their best to keep the industry streamlined, keep the content clean, no matter how pushy sales teams get. They may not still feature a client if their content is not up to the mark. They are well aware of the pressure of closing an issue on time while simultaneously working 24/7 to throw a magnificent event happening around the corner, and still manage to even try to finish to look presentable on the day of the show. But all of it is done in good spirit to service this one big design family. Also we are trying to achieve by this event. I'm sure you guessed by now who I'm talking about. Today is for the first time ever. We open the stage for the torchbearers, content curators, and passionate writers of the design fraternity, the editors. Let's hear a hand for them. To kickstart the discussion, I would like to introduce who's already on stage, our moderator for the evening. From humble beginnings to becoming one of the most inspiring names in the design fraternity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is someone I've known on a personal level as well, and he's just a brilliant human being. Please welcome designer, hotelier, and entrepreneur JIMMYMISTRY. Jimmy, could you go ahead and introduce our panelists?
Very good evening to all of you. I think we already finished our discussion up there. It's my pleasure to be here today, and it's a different, like she said, it's a different kind of a discussion. I've moderated too many design talks between architects and designers, but this one is different even for me. It's some of India's most prolific editors of some of the most known magazines, online, offline, digital. It is a pleasure to be here. I would love to keep this discussion as informal as possible, and I would love this discussion to have a takeaway for people who are on the dais and off the dais. That's how I like our design talks to be. So we will begin with you. It's been about 22 years you've been in the trade, right? Sam?
Mostly, I feel I'm an imposter in design. I'm not a trained designer or architect. I'm just someone who loves design and architecture and product design. And Eldeco happened to me as a fluke essentially, but it was a very happy fluke. It was my longest stint, and I got to sell the magazine for a brilliant 4.5 years. And right now I'm with Polish Properties, doing a lot of fun things there, and also doing design content. So it's a very good circle at the end. Yeah.
You know, the current status of the design industry per se, the information generating is huge. And most of the other industries are still grappling how to handle the social media onslaught and how to handle the digital onslaught. So perhaps our publishing houses have been going through the same rigmarole like every other industry, and ours being more specifically more in trouble and more in a corner. One side, you are having huge amount of content being generated throughout the country that was never happening before. The other side, how does one curate and put in design filters what to carry, what not to carry? Now with your experience of Eldecor, I think Eldecor did a swell job and which we reached to prominence very, very fast. Obviously you must have done certain things. Would you be able to assimilate and tabulate and tell us what is it that the publication did and how did it create its DNA so fast, even now that you moved into a different role that we'll again come back to it?
At Eldecor we were very clear about who our audience was at the end of the day. Who our audience is. We knew that we were communicating in two different sets. Someone who loves design, someone professionally like me, who appreciates good home decor, and also to the professional interior designer or the architect who is looking to do or who's looking to find out what's the latest in the industry, what are the new brands, what are the new products introduced, and also trends. Eldecor is kind of on par with what are the latest trends in the industry. So we were pretty clear about how to cater equally to both of those audiences. That made it challenging for us as a team to figure out what kind of content we should curate to both of these audiences, right? Finding out something new and interesting, finding out new talent, finding out what the trends are. Our team was on, adrenaline overdrive 24/7, to figuring that out. So I think that was very important for us, curating content for two, not very different kinds of consumers, but two different kinds of readers with a very interesting, with a different background for sure. And we were very particular about the kind of content we would write for this audience too. It had to be simple, it had to be to the point, it had to find a balance between the visual and the written word. For us, visual had to be, precise, it had to be clear, it had to be of the strongest quality. That was that. And of course, it was a challenge for us every day to find also balance between not just local content but international content. At the end of the day, we are catering to an audience that's very conscious about what's happening what's happening in the world around them. A consumer might not really might want an international brand or a local brand, for instance, or a designer as opposed to something else. So finding a balance between that, so for us, at the end of the day, it was just finding a balance between content, between designers, between everything else, to put it together. So, yeah.
I love the passion she still has for Eldecor.
Yeah, I do, because I think I have to be grateful for that magazine because it made me realize how much I actually love design and architecture. To be very honest, I never thought a lifestyle journalist like me would ever have an opportunity in design journalism. Like I thought that was a pipe dream until I joined Eldecor. And I think the current job that I have right now, I'm probably on my way to be a design thinker of sorts. I still don't know what design thinker means, but it probably for me means someone who gives solutions that are design conscious at the end of the day. We are thinking about the consumer at the end of the day. So I think I wouldn't have gone that direction in the world for my time at Eldecor. So yeah, very grateful for that opportunity.
See, I would love to give you an introduction. I'm introducing you because you know yourself the best and you can do it. But we've had an interaction with Trends and it was really a pleasurable one. And I would really value your publication and the kind of work that you put in. And I hold it in great high esteem, no two ways about it. Also, currently, what you're doing with Nico is amazing, and it's kind of striking the right chords with the right people in the design industry, and which is really filtered, in a place where the country is flooded with exhibitions and symposiums and seminars of the mass of nature. You've got something that's really curated and very niche. Why don't you introduce yourself and then I'll talk.
Hi, I'm Tina. Recently took over with now, what Neha was saying about it came to me in two different formats of magazine. Good Homes is nice, fun, interior design, soft focus on furniture, everything nice
biology as architecture, ethical, intellectual. So being able to be at the helm of two different magazines was in itself a great challenge. To be able to curate content for two very different magazines at the same time, in the same month, thinking without having a team, with not even a single interior designer or an architect.
Wow, that's...
We are just passionate about design, really, really passionate about design. So it's really interesting how we work, because we just interact with designers, we just interact with architects, and it's interesting how we have to bifurcate between, okay, this goes in good homes and this goes in trends. But there's a very, very clear demarcation between the two lines. And when it came to putting together Decode, it was yet another very, very interesting experience, because how do you create something different in a market which is already so saturated? We have ID which is out there, we have AD design through which is fabulous. Then what do we do differently in Decode? So the idea was to bring the right kind of people together, which is more meaningful for the industry, having said that, where there's serious business happening, So that was the agenda, and which is why it became a curated luxury.
Sheldon, the king of fairs and trade fairs. Okay, so Sheldon is the man behind Index. He is the man behind yet another very successful publication. I would love it that he introduces himself, and we'll take it on from there.
Yeah, I'm Shailendra Mehta. I'm editorial consultant with IFJ and communications head for Index Trade Fairs. We have been in the industry for close to 2 decades now. When we launched Index IFJ publication, we had very defined leadership in front of us. And we wanted to cater to architects, designers, as well as we wanted to cater to the industry too and bring this together. So that was the whole focus. Somehow we managed to keep it for last, say, 16, 17 years. Magazine has been doing great in the sense that we never had dearth of content. Although we had people coming in, people moving out, we had architects on board, we had journalists on board, different types of people. But ultimately what I realized today when I kind of address this kind of seminar about content and about publication, so I will content to the publication. The most important thing is to create a good credibility. That's the most important thing in the market. May it be in terms of being impartial, or may in terms of being kind of neutral to everything that's going on in the industry. So we have managed to get good friends over the years, people who have been writing regularly, people who want their projects to be seen in IFJ. So we've managed to create that kind of scene. And that's where we are. We also have trade fairs, of course, which is India's largest B2B fair for interior industry. Okay? So that's also another platform where we interact with a lot of architects. Some of them are here. I can see them here today through various seminars and conversations and other events. So association has been great. It's been an enjoyable experience and been able to make a lot of friends in the industry over the years. Thanks.
Since you wear 2 hats, one is the exhibition and the fair, and second is IFJ's publication. Where do you pull your content resources from? Does it come more because of the exhibition and pulls on through the year, or does it come because you are doing IFJ, you already have an access to the brands and you pull them into the exhibition?
Yeah. These are 2 different entities altogether. We never depend on the other. Like for example, Fair is an exhibition where people come and see the products, people see new brands. We do have people there, we have interaction. But on the other side, we are a bi-monthly. So throughout the year, the work of the magazine goes on. We are on the lookout for new projects, new architects to be covered, even some of the great architects, like some of the senior architects who do not publish their works or do not document their works. Be after them, get their works documented. We have been able to do that. Now the trend is last 5-10 years, there is a lot of interest from the architect side to get their projects published. Earlier this wasn't there when we started off. So we had to literally go door to door to the architects, talk to them, request them and ask them to share their beautiful projects with the wider audience.
Thank you. Mridula. Can I just pass the mic? Well, that's an old friend again, and a fantastic support to the design industry. She has her own ways within the industry. I think the word that she was talking about over there on the dais, that everybody knows who's the architect, who to go to. She's one of those people. But I'll give it a short introduction. Okay, I'm sure you can introduce yourself and we will take it from there.
So I've been around in this industry for the last 22 years, which is why I can say
Right from inside outside.
right from inside outside in the 90s to right today, very much in the industry, which is what is happening now.
You contribute to our report and how was
I used to in the 3 years that it's only given by the market outside Harvard and all the segments.
See, one of those old hands in the game, and right from inside outside, when it used to be the only good old publication in the country, predominantly for interiors, and all of a sudden kind of looked at it at one stage in interiors. So what has really changed in the world of publishing for architecture and interiors in India from good old 90s inside outside days to where you're right now? I'm sure a lot has changed. A lot has changed, right?
It's so good to see that change. Because, we actually also see suffering of funding. We can even have the idea of the whole experience is totally very good. So that's also makes it a lot more interesting design and architecture happening in pockets. There is a lot of movement that is happening, whether it's product design, whether it's interior design, or it's architecture.
So has the TG changed? Those days the TG that used to be there and today who you are targeting, is it changed or it's more or less the same TG that we are playing about?
TG is pretty much the same. It's just that they're far more aware. So the TG of Zen went by, what somebody suggested. Today the TG is very, very aware. They've traveled a lot, they've experienced a lot. Also we have a lot of materials in the country now. We have a lot more finishing industries that earlier people could not have access to. So it's a completely different scenario today. And that's really good. And I think it's going to be further exciting as we go on because there's a lot more that's going to be happening as we see in tier 2, tier 3 cities. It's almost like bursting, it's bursting with design. People are so excited about design. It may not be the best of design, but it's good enough that it is happening because then the refinement can come later. At least people are engaging with design and realizing the value, which I personally think that, design is driven by passion, and passion that goes into design has the power to affect a reality. It's a huge tool. Design is a huge tool, and people, those who have realized it, have done very well. And it brings the emotional dimension to whatever we have. So design really plays in the sun, which I think it's getting now. That's the difference.
We have yet another amazing panelist, Isha. She's done a lot for herself and the fraternity in the digital world. Well, Isha, I think publishing, design, architecture, interiors, decor, product, furniture has moved digital and online. And you are one person who's really gone there, been there, done that, and got it to some point. And she's about 26,000 followers on Insta. That's quite a lot in the design world.
It's been hard, to be honest. It's been a tough road. And I think in the last year and a half, that's when we've seen a real change and acceleration to what we're doing. So, the 26,000, you compare it to a fashion blog or to anyone in the fashion industry, it stands low and things like the ants compared to that. But I think, like I said earlier, any conversation, design conversation is good conversation. So as long as we're putting out there, we're connecting with people, I think that's what we're trying to really achieve.
How are you doing things differently from print to digital? I mean, is there a distinctly different teaching that you're looking at, or is there a distinct different strategy that you're employing?
I think what's different is how we're connecting with people, and it feels like it becomes more accessible because you see visuals of faces as opposed to and their lives. So you're seeing the person taking you to a new home or a new office that architect has designed as opposed to waiting for your issues to come out, flipping through this.
really. Would love you to introduce yourself. I just met her some time back, like I said, and some old friends and some new. But it was very interesting listening to her, what she's doing and how passionate she's about curating design and getting it out across to the people via the right content. So you were telling me that you've got a different design strategy where even though you're expanding, everybody who has to cover design has to come in your organization with a background of design, be it architecture or interiors, predominantly architecture, and she's herself a qualified architect, unlike me. Why don't you just explain to them what is it that you're doing and how differently you're doing it?
To begin with, it's not that stringent. But I have to say that...
So I can't apply, or can I?
Well, you have a background in design now, so you are eligible, I would say. But what's important is that I am a trained architect, and I think that's what I bring to the table to the publication, is that being an architect, having practiced as an architect, there's a certain understanding of design and space. So when we started the magazine under the banner Stir, which was, as print, it was called Motto Arc India, for us it was important to be able to bring across content that had a very sort of strong and inherent understanding of design. And that we found could only happen, or largely happen, I would say, by designers. So, I tell a lot of architects that we work with is that we don't expect you to write. Your job is not to write, your job is to express yourself through your design work, not through words. But it is for us to take your word and to value add to that. A lot of conversations that we have had with architects and designers, and we discuss projects with them, we do a walkthrough, we analyze things. Conversations range from 20 minutes to 2 hours per project. And we do it with passion because we like to and we enjoy it. And at the end of these conversations, a lot of times people turn around and say, wow, I did not look at my own work in that manner. So it is a little bit of a revelation for them as well, because you are looking at it from a third person's perspective. And I think that becomes important. That is something that we've been very conscious of bringing to the content that we have put together with Mondo. Now that we're going digital and we're starting a website, fosterworld.com, it is still the same process that we follow. But what we talked about earlier is that as you expand, you can't necessarily have the same rules, the same parameters, you can't, keep the same checklist, and you can change it, things evolve. So it's not to say that we do not hire writers or staff that does not come from a design background, but yes, the passion goes unsaid. When you have somebody like Sneha, who is not a professional designer, but her work is very evident of the passion that she has. And that is the kind of staff that we are looking for, that we have to have people who understand design, be it because of their background and training, or be it because of their passion and having learned over the years themselves. As an architect, I had no experience in publishing or editorial or any of that. I did not have a job, and I would expect people to kind of flip it around and do it the other way as well. So that's how we work.
Well, that's nice motivation for a lot of youngsters sitting here. Last couple of years, I have been on purpose out of commercial practice of design and architecture, and I had my own reasons of doing that. However, it's given me a chance and an opportunity to flex in my bandwidth and see how we can help the world of design. I firmly believe we need to contribute back to the fraternity where you come from, because otherwise life and profession is not both lived and both done. So design can be bettered within the given situation in the country, and this is not the platform for it, but we've really debated with a lot of people across through a period of time. The only way, like Isha said, is there's a difference between the world of fashion and the world of design. So my take on the world of design, and one very good positive step would be to glamorize the world of design. Now, if you were to glamorize the world of design, the tables will start turning. What way would each one of you as a publishing house, be it print, be it digital, what way do you think you would be able to contribute? And are you on the same page with me when I say that yes, we need to glamorize the world of design? So if you have a film star standing, if you have a, I'm not taking names, I find it very difficult to give examples without taking names. But let's say you have a Hrithik Roshan, you have a Hafiz Contractor, and you have a Falguni Shen Peacock standing. And how would you expect people to react? For me, Hafiz is God in the world of architecture. All said and done. I mean, you owe it to that man. He's the biggest name in the country, in the world of architecture, globally, and representing India. But will he get the same amount of following on his Insta or his social media as Shane and Falguni would? Or you get my point. And how can the publications really help us bridge this gap? Because the minute you glamorize the world of design, the tables will turn. We'll not get paid for peanuts. So the industry is being paid peanuts and then you've got monkeys. But if the industry gets paid well, is if you glamorize the world of design, everything will turn. You get far more passionate people in the world of design. You get people really with enthusiasm pitching onto designs and creating things, which is happening even today. But I think it needs to change. So how would you help about glamorizing design through your publication?
Such an interesting question. Okay, firstly, I think I'm a social activist or a traditionalist of sorts, but I don't believe that design has to resort to glamorizing in order to reach a certain level.
Doesn't it happen globally? Kareem Rashid, Philip Stark, Thomas Heatherwick. Thomas Heatherwick would not be Thomas Heatherwick if he was not glamorized by the Olympics. He wouldn't become a global name. Of course, he was a great designer. But he wouldn't have become a worldwide global name and invited to every single country to design had it been glamorized by the Olympic lottery that he designed for anybody.
I agree. See, that is okay. That is one route to take, maybe. You know, I think we resort to if we want something to be popular, if we want something to gain traction, we take the glamour. I think that's one way to go. We've seen that with fashion publications and to a certain extent with design publications as well. But to me, like I was saying, call me a social activist, but I don't think that's the way to go for design. I feel if we find a way to maybe get the government on board with us, say for instance, okay, this may be a pipe dream, but it's a good pipe dream to follow. If we in some
Forget the government is to get on board first.
Exactly. So maybe there's a way. That's why the social activist.
Right now the election results come out, let the government get on board.
No, that is one way, of maybe getting the government on board to figure out a way how can design be taken seriously in this country. That's one thing that has to be, achieved. How do we take design seriously? For that instance, we need to have some kind of awareness. Like say for instance, the lovely Divya Thakur, she put together a beautiful India Story exhibition, at CSMBS. That is such a great education of, what a rich culture India has in terms of design. From the very basic products to the most, extravagant products. There's a design story there. And I saw, school kids to, really, to the masses, in that exhibition. Why don't we put our energies towards efforts like that? Another instance is having the student, encouraging the student community in an interesting manner. Kind of empowering them to say that, you want to be a designer, here's how, we were discussing also in the room upstairs, empowering them in such a way that you are encouraged to start your own business, you are encouraged to start your own brand. You are given the tools to make yourself known in the market, whether it's for a brand, whether it's for a business, whatever it is. I think that's the way to go. Glamorizing may be one strategy. I agree. Maybe, attach it to a star and glamorize. Go get glamorize.
See, there has to be steam in the design. There has to be steam in the design.
But that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
Glamorize. What's your take on it?
I think, see, coming from a team of magazines, like one from WW, which has, guns like Femina, Filmfare, Grazia, Hello, and then we come. I've been told that we are the magazines with the lowest reach.
Absolutely.
The magazines that we have. So this is something that I face every day, every minute, every second in my organization. But I strongly agree with Neha, and I strongly believe that glamorizing design should be about glamorizing design and not attaching it to a second.
No, I'm not even suggesting, sorry to I'm not suggesting. I'm saying it's high time we need to start glamorizing our designers via the medium of a publication.
And what happens now, what's happening with the kind of publications that we have, and even like Nisha, it is happening very organically, very gradually.
What are the publications doing about it? What are the publications doing about it?
We are doing about it. So the forums like these, forums like mine, forums like Elite, they all are doing it. They are doing it on that platform.
some, if you talk about glamour, we have international designers, interior designers designing here for Lodha and all that. We have
International designers have their set of glamour. That's why they've become who they've become. Kareem Rashid wouldn't have been Kareem Rashid. Of course, he's a genius, but because he's glamorized and the media where he belongs has glamorized him, and the global design media has glamorized him.
Yeah, so we are talking about global sensibilities over there. When you come to Indian sensibilities, are we there? First of all, we'll have to think about it. Okay, one or two, like it could be like few celebrities or so-called film stars who are coming to interiors now, promoting their designs. So, and on the other hand, we have some very good designers, really genuinely good designers, who miss this glamour quotient. Okay, so this has been there, and this would, I think, continue for a while, till we ourselves, our audience, the wider audience gets matured, the industry gets matured, and industry starts kind of paying attention to good design. I see the huge dichotomy between the industry and the designers in the country today. There are very few good designers who have been promoted by industry houses, spending a lot of money on R&D or design, which is not happening. Unless until that is done, we get some good designs and good designers. At the moment, what I see is it's just maybe the tip of the iceberg. There is a lot hidden behind, which needs to be explored. And industry has to play a crucial role. Yes, government, yes, I agree. But there is no lobby. There are organization of designers, there are organization of product designers, which are trying to do something, trying to promote design, trying to create a different kind of culture in this country. But I do not know how effective they are vis-a-vis the government is concerned. Government policies are concerned.
I'm again reiterating what I said. If you go to think of it, what are the things that can be very quickly done within the country to help the industry design?
Yeah, we need to celebrate design, not the... So Kareem Rashid is big today because of the design came first. And his designs were celebrated and so he became big. Similarly, like there are countries, Finland and Italy, where their designers are national heroes.
Absolutely.
In our country...
Charles Pollock, I mean the list is endless.
They are national heroes. Whereas in our country, what do we do? I mean, like, first of all, there is no climate for design. We don't pay for design.
You don't pay for design.
We don't want to pay. We want everything under this fund. And we don't value design. We don't appreciate the amount of time and energy a person has, put in to create design or to make it invisible. See, the bigger design is what is invisible, not what is visible. So, although we're not ready to pay for, we need to celebrate our design and then automatically everything gets done.
Isha, your take on it?
That's fine, that's fine.
Yes,
I don't think the government has any role to play. I think we should keep the government out of it. Leave it to the creative people and to the church.
But apparently this talks of Ministry of Design, this is what I heard. I don't know how much, yes, no. If only, but coming back to the glamour point, I think I agree with you when you say it should be the work that speaks for itself. But the challenge here is that it still doesn't get the attention. And when I say it doesn't mean it has to be a Bollywood star per se. You don't need to slap on a Bollywood star in front of a few lamps to make it, stand out. I feel like you said, we need to celebrate the designers. Thomas Heatherwick is so unassuming. He's not a star by any means, but his work is just extraordinary.
He's a global star.
He's a global star. And the guy is just so unassuming, he's just so relaxed. Like he doesn't have any of that glamour, per se. So I think we all sort of speak the same language when we say we've got to somewhere push them up.
I would have to agree with what is being said overall, but I think it's important to talk about the design itself. It's important to talk about the process. It's important to talk about what goes behind creating something as opposed to not necessarily the person who's standing in front of it. What Sharon just said, it's interesting to look at it the other way around, that you've got, it's not about slapping celebrities, as Isha is saying, but when celebrities become designers, that doesn't equate them to good designers, right? So just because they're a celebrity and they've attained that status doesn't make them a good designer. You've got millions of great designers who don't get that, and a lot of them don't get it because they don't necessarily want to or feel the need to. I think that is changing a lot and has been changing in the past few years. and it has a lot to do with, an evolving PR culture in the design field, where people want to kind of put themselves out there. They want to, I would say stardom, but they want recognition, and rightly so. There's no harm in recognition, and there should be. This is a great table. People should know who designed the table. But I don't think that really equates to celebrity status or wanting to promote designers as celebrities. You talk about Heatherwick. I recently met David Adjaye, who's been plastered all over all sorts of media internationally. And I came out of one interview and I saw him was sitting at a table by himself, scrolling through his phone. I walked up to him, I introduced myself, I sat down, we had a 20-minute chat, and it was like walking up to anybody sitting over here in the audience. So you don't have to have that stardom to be a great designer. You can become a star through your great design, I feel.
Point noted. My next question to all of you is, I'm sure within the era of going digital, every print media publishing house is trying to go online and save themselves from the run of the future that because if you don't go digital. So what are the challenges that publishing houses have been facing in terms of filtering content, getting the right manpower, and making sure that between paid media, MediaNet, and actual articles, the differentiation is still there. You still retain the quality and the core DNA of the publication that you're representing. So what is your take on it, and how do you go about doing it? What are the challenges?
The fact that we just have one magazine, we're only reaching out to 75,000 one-time customers. So how do we take it beyond that? That's how ID came along, India Design ID came along. That's how we came up with the ID satellite parties that happened in Bombay. That's how we kind of, curated these beautiful events where we got everyone involved in an interesting manner. So it's definitely that, and I think digital is an interesting, it's a tricky field, especially in the design business. I think a website shouldn't just be a website anymore. It has to go beyond just content. I don't think very few people who are looking for design inspiration or even looking at design content, they're not just looking for ideas anymore. They're looking to make a purchase. They're looking for a transaction. They're looking for much more than content. I think that's a struggle that we have to need to do. Of course, there are publications that are already trying to achieve that, especially with Stir, for instance. They are going the e-commerce too, with Light and You, for instance, right?
Light and You and Stir are two separate organizations.
Oh, sorry, my bad. But I think that's a challenge too. There are other publications who are doing that, for instance. There is the Design Group, there is the CNC,
watches.
So I think that would be an interesting model to explore at a bigger level. I can speak on behalf of Design Deco. It's a Godrej initiative where we're trying to see how we can get our end consumers connected with the architect community in an interesting manner. So we came up with a platform of Design Deco, which is an interesting networking platform where design professionals can come, create their showcase, create their profile, and also get a chance to maybe connect with an end consumer, which they never thought they would, maybe outside of their city or outside of their country. So I think that's the challenge of always innovating outside of print. It doesn't need to exist on paper anymore. Going outside of print, curating interesting offline verticals, not just an event putting up a showcase, but finding a way to see how the design community can benefit and maybe end up getting business. So, yeah.
What are your challenges that you face with your publication?
It's 2 years back when we talked about that. We're not
Content is king.
Yeah, and content is king. So while the underlying message that was hammered to us all throughout since this time, we kept escalating ourselves, telling ourselves that content is still king. So the challenge was to get interesting content. Now, while she said it's important to generate good content and create interesting content, we also realized, like you were mentioning earlier, that regional content is doing really well when it comes to the digital. So when So when it came to garnering like a good following on YouTube or on Instagram, it was just about giving really relevant content out there. So the idea was for us to, especially for good things, what we did was we collaborated with experts. We collaborated with experts like Isha or someone else who's doing a really fab job instead of trying to do the same thing ourselves. And it really worked for us. And for us, it was internally, for us, it was difficult because we all came from the very traditional long-form content journalists. You know, like we're all that. We all have 15 years of experience. We all like writing long-form content, and when it came to generating these two-line content, we were handicapped.
It's all about learning.
Yeah. So it's all about finding the right balance where you have to do long-form, but you still have to see what is relevant in today's world. So, yeah.
I don't know how we live on time, but I would like to read.
Yeah, I think we are more or less on the same path, because as the print media, we realize with every print media, revenues are shrinking. You got to follow new methods. You got to adopt the new methods. And again, we went digital. We hired, we outsourced it to somebody. But at the same time, we had a team which would monitor it regularly in terms of content. Again, we had similar issues about having a concise content, having a precise content for the different kind of medium that we were kind of promoting. And there, like the experience has been, as far as website is concerned, as far as our social media presence is concerned, we do have a good team which is backing up our main publication. This is a print media. That has been a good side.
What about your challenges? Are there any that you would like to address?
Challenges, I think it's very, very important because the medium is, there's a lot that you can do with the medium.
Can I rephrase my question? Sorry, I want to put you guys on the spot. How do you handle between commercially paid for articles?
I want to make a point here. We do not have any paid articles, no advertorial.
So that's the choice, yeah. That's the choice organization or the magazine has to make. And I think all of us make our choices. And I think the choices that we make are quite evident in the work that we do, what we put out. So it's a call, it's a personal call. So what I'm saying is that I think the digital is very, very exciting. There's a lot that can be done. And you can reach a lot more people who are not necessarily in the same. So language becomes redundant. So because new people don't understand language is no longer a barrier. And I feel that we can even take it to our artisans and make them, see the processes that are happening in between and make them upgrade their own skills. So there's a lot that can be done.
No challenge.
And there are enough people who are doing good work.
Finally, there are business houses in India which will talk about challenges. I only know business houses are like local challenges. Sure. Editorial.
So, like
It's a reality.
It's a reality.
It's out of the closet, it's a reality.
Say no to advertising.
Absolutely. How does you answer why?
Finally, the magazines run on advertorials.
Absolutely.
And advertisements. We are not a lifestyle. We are not a news paper or a news magazine
Right.
which runs on ethics and stuff. We have to have the money to run the magazine.
Agree with you.
So what happens is to be able to strike that balance is to deal with the advertorial and the editorial, give the same treatment to the advertorial and the editorial. So advertorial doesn't in any way mean that it's
You'll publish what they give you.
or it should be not
So you curate that content as well. You curate that content and make it worthy.
It still is content for you, it still is information
Sure.
for you. So,
Yes,
as
I just make it. Two more ladies. Okay.
I think the challenge we faced
You are directly paid for, so there's no problem.
everyone is part of collaboration with other people's life.
So you want to complain that people do bathroom don't pay you for it, but these are very open, you're only paid for. Perfect. That's digital. Okay.
Yeah, we struggle now. People didn't have Instagram handles. Half the brands were even on digital. Last year and a half, they realized that okay, we need to have an Instagram account, we need to have a Facebook page. So our struggle is very different from the
Getting
struggle.
the right talent to keep the content going was really a big struggle because we need to train them, they are coached and they're taken away because there's so much of
design, it makes them even more specialized?
It's very small, so our challenges are completely different. So we try keeping the content. I think our content is still extremely good. That we've never had an issue with. The issue we've had is getting revenue in. But the last year and a half has been great. So finally things have sort of changed considering our idea is coming on to a digital platform.
Somebody is happy with the revenue
something right.
Well, I think for us, we were always the new kid on the block because our magazine was fairly new and young compared to everybody else. And interestingly, we were offered various things were put on the very well-designed table. Very well-known architects would tell us that put us on the cover, we'll give you the work. Give us a 10-page article, you'll get what you want. And the only response that we've ever had to share with anybody of that nature is that we're not a magazine that's about covers, we're from cover to cover. Not once have we ever put a project on a cover. The only time we did was when an entire issue was dedicated to Zahra Zabi and as a tribute to her, which was well-deserving, I would say so. So that, I think what's important is to check back on your principles at all given points and to keep yourself tethered to your school of thought. Now that we're going digital, of course we're facing a lot of challenges. Ourselves, we're not, unfortunately, an organization without challenges. But it's a learning process. Advertorials are inevitable. It is a part of your bread and butter. It is a way to keep you afloat. And that's not something you can ignore. But I think what happens is that it depends on how you treat them and how much importance you give to them and how you approach them. What you want to do with that. Do you want to treat it like an ad and you print anything that's given to you? Or would you really get into... Exactly. Would you do the groundwork and actually give it the kind of space that it deserves? So I think it really depends on what you're doing eventually. And for us, it's the same. We have the same principles going digital as well. Of course, we are catering to a very different market. You're talking about a target group. Here, because we are catering, with the print, we were catering to the Indian subcontinent. You're catering to certain people who are reading hard copies, who enjoy reading hard copies. Now we're catering to a global market. We're catering to a much wider audience of all ages, all types, or people of all interests. So you have to cater to them and you have to take care of their interests. But that doesn't amount to having to dilute your own principles, and it shouldn't, right? So we just keep yourself tethered to your principles.
So they both their hearts out and told you what is really the truth behind the scenes. You have one more, please go.
I agree a lot with Nalini over there, but still I have this issue of editorial and the normal article. Like how do you differentiate? For example, I have two architects send me an article. One guy says, put it as an editorial. So I take money from the guy. The other guy doesn't give me money and I treat them the same way. I think principally, I don't know, maybe I may be wrong, but principally it is wrong to accept any kind of revenue, any charge any kind of revenue for the works, the creative work that you publish in your magazine. I understand. Industry is different. Now industry wants to do an editorial. Like a company, for example, a company which is producing tables, they want to do it in an editorial. It's a different story altogether. But when it comes to design and promoting design, what are we? Where are we going? Because there is no end to it. We keep charging money for publishing their own designs. I feel it's
to address that we would never do editorials with designers. When let's say the manufacturer of this table wants to give an editorial, we will talk to the designer of the table to get the information, get the process behind it. But we would never accept funds from a designer to give an editorial to a designer.
Presented internationally.
Because we're not taught presentation skills in our colleges and design.
Yes. So you see the work, you see Kunal's work which was presented in Milan. It's fabulous. It's gone from here. Why can't we present it like that over here?
Point taken, very quick. We'll wrap it up on time. I like to keep our talk on time. Come on.
No, I just feel like designing in the home decor lifestyle industry is very different. You need a technical skill behind it. You can't just come up with a...
But a lot of housewives become designers overnight. A lot of housewives become designers overnight.
Yeah, how can you design for you? And that's why we need to be really cautious about it.
She sounded very funny. Okay.
It's a very tough question for me. I'm a designer. Honestly, it pinches me when non-trained designers claim to be designers. I have put in a lot of bloody effort to get get that damn degree, okay? And I have technical knowledge because I have trained myself to be a designer. Having said that, you cannot deny the fact that things are becoming very, very fluid today. The fact that I'm sitting over here, not as an architect, but as the editor of a magazine, and exemplary of that. So everything is fluid. It's not only housewives becoming decorators or designers, it is not fashion going into design and architecture. Everybody is doing everything. And I think it really depends on how you take it. It can turn into something beautiful and amazing, but it can also kind of trash you if you don't know what you're doing and you're not conscious of what you're doing. So if you can take it as a challenge and run with it, good luck and God be with you. But don't demean it
I think we've had a good, healthy debate and discussion, and views have been expressed very openly, very honestly. We'll just take one or two questions. Okay, one or two questions and we wrap up the session.
Hi, I'm Shami, Design Director of GA Design in Mumbai. I have one question for all you editors here. When we send a project to any of the magazines for publication, and I don't mean any of y'all per se, why do you have this rule which says give us only an unpublished project, when in your own other editions you have always published, bigger names, projects that have already been published before. So why is there this rule which says give us an unpublished project? So is that an indirect way of saying, hang on, you're not going to publish it?
No, it's not an indirect way to say that we're not going to publish it, but we genuinely feel it's a very niche industry. Even the readers are the same. So there's no point publishing the same work everywhere. If you're sending out a particular work to, and I see a lot of PRs doing it, that they send out the same docket to every single publication. So even in my organization, if there are 5 journalists, we all get the same docket. So we know that it's gone to 100 people out there in the market. There are 43. There are 43. There are around 43 odd interior design magazines. And look at the oddity. In case everyone is going to publish the same project in the same month, what are we giving? What are we giving out? This is why we want unpublished content.
Add to what Seema is saying, being very honest with you, there has to be a sense of novelty, right? Because if I publish everything that I get, for us, curation is very, very important. So whatever you're submitting to us has to fit into a curatorial sort of edit.
That is something I can accept.
Right. So that is for us, that is a priority. However, what Seema is saying is that if she gets the same press release, I get the same press release, and we end up doing the same thing, every magazine today is going to look the same. We don't want to do that. So it really depends on your curation, it depends on your perspective, it depends on how you approach certain editorial. So for us, we do that a lot, that if we get a press release from somebody, we might be interested in presenting the project, but we twist it and we present a different perspective. We might not present it from the same perspective that you submitted to us, but we'll talk to you and we'll say, okay, you're thinking of it from here, we'll approach it from a different side and we'll put it together.
And the rule applies to all.
I think the perspective part is very important because it's not a mere piece of news, okay, which can be published in 10 newspapers or 10 governments. It's more than news. So the question of perspective is very important. It has to fit into that. And again, like she said, like if I open 5 magazines and if I see the same project in those 5 magazines in the same month, it's quite ridiculous.
Then how do I increase my readership?
It also depends on which PR agency you use. I'm kidding, guys. And sometimes don't slaughter me. I'm kidding. Okay. So sorry. We take one more question. Yeah, sure.
I'd like to go back to the editorial question. I'm not sure if it's still true, but I know architects can't advertise their work or their practice as law.
So says the Code of Architects.
Yeah, so that's one thing, professions in general. But even about the editorials and editorials, even within editorials, right? How often is any magazine critical of the work they're publishing anymore? It's a real question I do have, even from the editor down to the writers, because obviously the editors are the ones who set the tone for the magazine. How much liberty does the writer themselves have to criticize a project? And by that I don't mean like, oh, this is nonsense.
I mean, what I mean is critique.
Critique it, to actually critique a project. Is that still happening in the publishing world? And I know it's not just architecture, it's a bigger thing, but is critique happening?
See, if they are publishing their own articles,
I'm not an editor and I can just tell you from my point of view, because I've been dealing with them, if they are publishing an article and they find a project fit enough to publish in their publication, they cannot be criticizing that project.
But that's my question.
They can be criticizing.
More in that case, publish a piece of work and say, are we sure this is the direction we want to be in? Can we not question design practice?
I take that. I think it's a double-edged sword. And what happens is, and I mean,
That would be architect for life.
this is a discussion.
And all is stress
We are known as a community
immediately a radical drop.
right? A. B. Okay, I would say very few of us are open to critique. Very few of us are open to critique. It becomes very difficult to sit at the top and say that, okay, we are going to critique someone's work, because you're also blocking certain roles and avenues for yourself at the end of the day. However, there are ways of doing it. Past is actually we had two architects have a conversation with each other, and we said, okay, the two of you go and you will visit. Okay, so the architect A and B, and you both will go and visit a project done by architect A, and you will have a conversation where it is absolutely candid. It is up to the two of you how you want to take the conversation, and it has been a critique, and we have published it. Now, you also have to be of a certain. Everybody can't critique. Right? You have to have that sense of knowledge, of understanding to be able to do that. And I think that is absolutely critical, without which you should not even attempt to critique somebody else as well. So therefore, instead of doing it ourselves very often, and instead of relying on authors to do it, we get professionals to do it for each other. So we have done that on offline events, where we had people having discussions. So even if it might not be in print, but we're still trying to establish a sense of dialogue and a sense of conversation between within the industry and between professionals.
Sorry, if I may add
Sure.
that's a very interesting question, and I completely agree with Sunani here. And even when I was at Decor, I don't think we functioned with the fact that whenever we got content to publish in the magazine, it wasn't with the effect of critiquing something or a project. It was just a matter of information. We discovered someone wonderful or a wonderful project. We wanted to share it with everyone else. That's how we function as an editorial team at the end of the day. It's not about, and you're absolutely right. I don't think we're in a position to, judge which person's work is good or bad, essentially. Our magazines have themes, we have subjects to cover. We want to feature great projects or great ideas where it fits in the theme. That's the main thing. For me, it's about awareness about design, of what exists, whether it's whatever label you want to put it in.
But then,
Interior designers and architects who are here, we are client driven. It's not a pure.
Exactly.
So critiquing fine art is very simple. Do you have 100% freedom to do what you want? So you critique a piece that's done with 100% freedom. If not, I mean, it's very, very client driven.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a piece of poetry or a drama or a play or
I
a
think
novel.
lady deserves a round of applause. Come on. These competitions, and I've been on the award stage and giving away awards and taking awards. But the fact remains, think from an architect's or a designer's perspective. 50 people invite you to come for an award function. It's not possible to go for every award function. And when you're present there, you are also lending your credibility to it or your endorsement to it. You're endorsing it, right? So you refrain from the ones you're not comfortable with. You participate for the ones you're comfortable with. But this happens, why in the design industry alone? It happens across board. Happens in fashion, happens in media, happens across the world.
Jimmy, it doesn't only happen with awards, it happens with publication.
Yes.
If you publish a project in a certain magazine, that means you believe in that platform as opposed to another magazine which you don't believe in, and therefore you never give it to
So that publication is your choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So it becomes that way. But I agree, the fraternity needs to participate more within the fraternity. This is a positive takeaway from a discussion like this. And they should, not because they're not getting an award, they don't go. A lot of film stars also do the same thing. If they're not getting an award, they'll not go to the award. But I think we are way smaller in our design world. We are no celebs, and we need to participate more actively for the betterment of our design industry holistically. With that, we end this discussion. Thank you all.